a safe place, I got room to breathe. Been a long chase, but at last I'm free. These open woods, I knew I could find peace here. Nothing like the city where I got tired of the running.
Hello again to day 3 of the Mindset March, and I promise you I will play the beautiful song later in about 15 minutes at the end. But there is so much today going on. I want to show you really important stuff, and this is why I'm here to talk about paradigms. So what is this about today? So think about what is holding you back to achieve the results you really want. Because think of course not like the ice cream that you want to buy next street quarter, but the big things. And we have been talking about the big goals yesterday, and before the first day I have been talking about why it is important to think from the thought and not from the results at the beginning. And I show you what I mean. I'm doing a little recap. If you happen to look at this third time or this third episode of my Mindset March challenge, then I will tell you why I'm doing this. This is what I learned from Bob Proctor, who recently passed away, who is a pioneer of, mindset coaching or of development, personal development. And this is so big that I would like to share little bits with you every day this March. And I'm trying to be at a certain, always around this time, but can be a little bit earlier, can be a little bit later, but you can see this in the replay certainly. And also make sure that you are either subscribing my channel, the YouTube channel, you will be notified then, or you add me as a friend in your social networks, you will be notified then as well. So this is on Bob Proctor, what I learned. And the first day I started with this here. So we all have busy lives. We have so many things to do. And of course, there is our list of results that we want to work on every day. And so we feel good if we did this, done that, if we made this call, if we got this here. And of course, this brings us in a rat race. And so at the end, the question is always, so what do I really want? Is this actually my goal, or am I excited about this? Is this really mine? And so I think right now is a good question to ask this, because we are coming out of like a big pandemic that all affected us, that also brought us in a different situation, and now everything starts new. And then there is also things that are coming again from the outside. But I think many people are asking themselves, so how can I live more balanced? How can I live from within? And so first question is, what do I really want? And the idea for this, what Bob Proctor proposes out of this rat race, is a simple twist in this here, not to go for the results, but for the thoughts. And when you change your thoughts, you will automatically put yourself into a state where you feel where you want to go. And this feeling connects to your actions, or you will then act in a different way and also get different results. Maybe not the first time, but the more you are constantly going towards this goal, you will have success finally. And so this is what I would like to do with you today, but continuing. And let us just go for what I went with you yesterday. Yesterday was about a burning desire, the goal. And the idea was also that when you think of a goal, the question, of course, what do I really want? What really excites you? And if you are well, you are not like me, but I can tell you my story. When I did this exercise of thinking, what do I really want? I didn't really know what I want. So there was so many things on my list and I wasn't even sure what to write. And so this is all fine. The thing is that you take time for yourself and reflect about it. What really gives you the drive. And so let's think of this, making this list. And yesterday, if you have already heard this and if you maybe made this list, yeah, so the question is now, what did you think as a side note, as a side thought on this? And I will tell you what I mean with this. But first, if you are watching this right now, and you're watching this right now, so I will give you the opportunity to think of this question. What do I really want for 1 minute? Let's go. So, I mean, it is not enough, but sometimes it is enough because sometimes the things that we think first is our intuition, and this is the thing that we really want. But what else did you think when you think of what you could have if there would be not a limit? I can imagine that there were some thoughts of like, okay, so is this really something that I should have? What if it doesn't work? What if I would say it? What if other people would see me like this? And this is the topic that I would like to go with you about today. And this is the paradigms. Paradigms, let me quickly explain what this is. A paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior, and almost all behavior is habitual. And what does behavior mean? Behavior is action, mannerisms made by us individuals, various to the outside or inside stimulus. Okay, so how we actually act, and whether it's habitual, whether we do it all the time, or whether we're doing it only once. And I would like to share with you a presentation to make this a little bit more clear that I have done some time ago, and I have now enhanced for you, and I would really love to share it. And this is also an explanation what is actually the mind. So we're talking about mindset. Hey, cool, mindset March. But what is it? Is it this here? Is it the brain? What happens there? The thoughts? Or what? It is not. So the mind, if we can explain it, is something that it's not a physical thing. It is something that can be described as a thinking part related to thoughts. That's the first association, probably the brain, and how we think and how we get to our conscious thinking. And then there's an emotional mind that is related to the feelings. And if we put this together, we have here this symbol that Bob Proctor loved It's called the stick person. And it also has to this conscious part and the subconscious part a body which is very small, and it doesn't reflect necessarily the body, like the size of the everything. It's rather the vibration, the frequency. And what is meant by this? So you have the thoughts that are kind of going into the actions. That's what we think. But then there is also the feelings, and the feelings are also impacted. And the interesting thing about it, and I will explain this more in detail, is that if you are seeing how an action is resulting, then you can say that the thoughts are not the secondary, the primary, but the secondary cause. That means that the feelings in this symbol here, in this idea of the stick person, play a primary role. So the subconscious, the feeling part, is primary to the actions and habits and will create or put the body into a certain frequency, and this frequency then results into some actions and habits. So the conscious mind is, of course, something where you could think it is impacted by outside things that we see, we hear, we smell, we touch something. So I forgot something here, smell, see, listen to something. But at the end, the subconscious part plays a vital role. And this is also where the programming of our subconscious plays in. The subconscious programming is another word for the paradigms. The paradigm, again, is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior, and almost all behavior is habitual. So why is that so important? Because it has an impact on what your big results are. Your earnings, your perception, your use of time, your creativity, your relationships, your success. And there are thoughts and patterns and habits and paradigms that serve us well. I will say it helped us to survive. And it's also something that, well, I teach my kids every day when we cross the street to look really 3 times, to look left, to look right, and then left again. You could say in a modern world in whatever, 20 years from now, this is not needed anymore. But maybe because I am stressing it so much, because I'm living in a busy city, that this is my way of seeing this is the outside world, and this is an important thing to survive and to teach my kids to survive. And so they will then maybe have it in their paradigm and teach it their kids, maybe even though it's not necessary anymore. Think of like maybe all the vehicles in future have an automatization, they will break anyways. Who knows? But do you get the idea? So we are talking about a programming that we have acquired from an outside, well, from our parents, from our grandparents, from the outside world. And that is not necessarily serving us when it comes to achieve our success. And to give you an example for paradigms, this could be something that we are also talking about ourselves, and it's nobody to blame. It's more what we are talking to ourselves because we believe it's true. And this could be, I always run out of money, I'm not good enough, I never have enough time, I'm always late, I'm not creative, and always somebody else gets a better job. And since I am in live video and I'm helping people to reach out with their purpose on life and really get the connection to others, important paradigm or important paradigms that stand in the way if you want to reach out is that I don't know if I have something to say. Maybe it's not perfect. Maybe I don't speak well. Maybe nobody is listening to me. Maybe I don't look good. It has to be like this or like that. And this is a paradigm as well. And so the idea is to change the thought and sort of to increasingly override these programs that are not serving us. Because if you don't believe you can do it, you can't do it. And so let me just go back here. The idea is like this. So if you are in your subconscious programming, here we go. If you believe it's red, but your conscious programming believes it's green, so the result of it at the end will be red. Because your subconscious programming will be responsible for your actions to put your body into the frequency, and it will not happen. So even if you want green, then it's not possible. So here actually the color that is painted is not even green. So let's hear that the color is, does blue work? Okay, so if you say you want blue and your subconscious thinks red, so it's not working. Yeah, so do you get the idea? And then, of course, there is another thing, and we will talk about this tomorrow. But of course, you might say now, okay, what is the conscious mind any good? So if it doesn't help me to, well, get the things that I want, of course, you are able to generate a thought, and this thought can then transfer into the subconscious mind, but that needs repetition, and you need to say it over and over again to get into the subconscious mind. And there are possibilities and there are ways to get this, but if you have overridden this and it's now all purple, then your actions will be alike. And that's the idea, how you get the results that you really want. Okay, so this is already done for today. Hey, I'm so happy that we still have viewers here, and I'm doing this bit by bit. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm super interested what your perception is. But just imagine if you worked on your paradigm and think of one thing at a time, that is really causing you to fall back or to have the same results over and over again. That is just not working. It could be in relationships, it could be in the job, could be in other things of life, other relationships, things that you want, and it's not happening. Think of what limiting belief, what paradigm is holding you back, and how about changing this, and what would the result be if you change this then? So this is something that Bob Proctor did actually, and he said the impact will be huge and permanent. Alrighty, so I would just like to finalize, hold on. Okay, so this is like the one presentation that I just prepared. So back to our scene here. You might think, interesting, very theoretical, a little bit simple, maybe it's too simple. What is it good for? What Daniel is telling us about? And is it really working? This morning I thought, because I worked in the chocolate industry, remember? If you looked on my LinkedIn profile, I worked in marketing. So there is a very, very, very successful product out there. And actually it's an Easter egg that is sold throughout the year. And when it was introduced in the 1980s, people thought that this company is crazy because the Easter egg was only associated with Easter. So now this product is an absolute success. There is no other product on the market that is matching this chocolate egg, at least in Europe. You cannot sell it in the US because of regulations, but this is one thought. I have another example for you. Have you ever thought that there is a soft drink company with carbonated soft drinks and caffeine? It's a brown lemonade, and you associate it with summer. Everybody likes to drink cold stuff in summer, but this company made it happen that you also associate this in the winter time. And I am sure, I don't have the facts, but this is sure that this is heavy marketing behind, that they associated their lemonade with Christmas. And now all over the world, there is I think they even say they invented the Father Christmas or the Santa Claus. So that you associate this lemonade with Christmas. And so this is something where, well, an outside marketing has impacted the way you think or we think, and we think it's normal. So you can also change it again. So this is what I want to change, what I would like to share with you today. And tomorrow I will talk to you about a little bit more in detail about the stick person that I just showed. And I'm happy about your questions and your feedback. And this was day 3 about the Paradgim, and I'm looking forward to seeing you same time or a little bit earlier tomorrow. Bye bye. Have a great day. Ciao.
In a safe place, I got room to breathe. Been a long chase, but at last I'm free. These open woods, I knew I could find peace here. Nothing like the city where I got tired of the running, the catching up. I got hungry for the stunning high mountain tops. So I made some plans, some dreams to catch, to promised lands, to find my path. See the blue sky, feel the wind that blows. Get the rush in.